C# has many features that make life easier. With each new version of the language, Microsoft brings new features that allow you to write code that is more readable, more maintainable, more elegant. One of the features that I really like and that I think is quite underrated is deconstruction. Let's take a closer look at it in this video. Okay, so let's go through some examples where you can use deconstruction. Here I have a method that returns a tuple. If you call this method and assign the result to a variable, you can access the value of this tuple. And it's perfectly fine to do that. But you could also assign the separate values of the tuple to separate variables by using deconstruction. You just don't assign the return value of the method to a single variable, you specify two variables instead. If you do not need all of the variables, you can use the discard operator. Another way to use deconstruction is when working with records. Look at this dimension record, which consists of a width and height. Again, I have a method that returns an object of type dimension. When I call this method, I can also deconstruct the result, just as we saw before. So now we have seen tuples and records. What about classes? Can we use deconstruction with class instances? Sure we can. We just have to implement it ourselves. In this point class, I create a new public method called deconstruct that returns nothing and has an out parameter for each property we want to provide with the deconstruction. In this case, x and y. The signature has to look exactly like this: public method, no return type, and the out parameters. And now that this method exists, we can do the same as before. We can deconstruct an object of this type into separate variables. Awesome! But is that all? Of course not. What if you want to use deconstruction on classes that you cannot extend with the deconstruct method because they are third-party code? Well, just implement the deconstruct method for that type as an extension method, with the same signature rules as before. A really cool feature that I really enjoy using, but does it make sense for all classes to provide such a deconstruct method? Well, probably not. Some classes just don't have properties with a natural order, like point, where the order comes automatically. So for those classes I would do without it. So that's it. What about you? Do you regularly use deconstruction in your C# code? Or don't you like this feature? Let me know in the comments. If you're interested in how to improve the performance of your C# applications using frozen dictionaries, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, bye!